While it is debatable whether women are in fact the rake in the poker game of life, what is not debatable is that in the poker game of poker, the rake is the rake. So, I'm going to be investigating what the casino rake is all about at the poker table and what it actually means to the legit possible win rate one can have while playing live on my, as of yet, unnamed pseudo vlog, loosely based around poker and subsidizing travel adventures with poker or something. Apologies to Peter McKinnon for the stolen intro music. I hope that's not too bad, or he has good lawyers, but it was the last video I watched before I started hitting record on this, so, whatever. We're overheating here. Alright. So, the rake. In broad strokes terms, the rake is how the casino you're playing poker at profits from poker. In a game where you're playing the other players and not the house, there has to be a house edge of some kind. So, in a poker room, at a poker table, what they do is skim a little cream off the top of all the money that the player pool puts in for the right and the privilege to play in that game, at that table, at those stakes. So the nuts and bolts of rake. There are two major types of way that a casino rips money from the poker tables it's running. Either time-based, which is just strictly a little ante you throw into the casino every maybe half hour or hour, depending on how they do it. Or it's rake-based, which is based on the size of the pot, and they kind of take it out of each pot and, you know, everybody puts money in, but the winner who takes it out takes a little bit less because the casino is ripping a little bit out each time. That eventually has a cap, the cap being the max that they will take on that specific pot. So the most common rake you'll see is a 5 or 10% rake of the pot taken with a cap at $5 or $10, depending on how nefarious the casino in question is. What that means is that if a pot is $20, then they will take $2 out of that if it's 10%, or $1 out of that if it's 5%. And those numbers keep going up until they hit that cap, which is the ceiling number you get, which is usually around $5 or so. Now that is just the casino rake. Sometimes casinos will run certain promotions for bad beats, where, you know, the jackpot is some huge amount of money and you have to add another dollar to that. My guess is that with any big lottery thing like that, they are ripping us on the percentages and all that stuff, especially considering I assume you gotta tax shit on it or whatever. So those you want to avoid as well, generally, just because the juice isn't worth the squeeze. You're giving up so much more than you could potentially gain. So there's that. And then also, a lot of casinos these days are doing a little bit of a poker reward program where, like, $1 will go towards, you know, the month's best player or the free tournament for the people who spend enough hours at that particular room, which is fine if you're a regular there, not fine for our purposes. If I'm traveling around and I'm only at a casino for a week, not ideal situation for us. So we really want to find the lowest percentage of each pot as well as the lowest cap number. So we decided to take a look at some of the casinos I frequent, have been to, and may go to, and see how these numbers kind of negotiate with each other. I've also been clued into using Poker Alice. I forget how I stumbled upon it, but it's a nice little site that overviews like a lot of different casinos everywhere for different things, poker-related games or tournaments or series that are coming in casinos all over the world. So I definitely want to investigate it a bit more. I will throw that site in the description of this in case anyone's inclined or they have, you know, good lawyers as well. And you'll see the rakes of different casinos there too, so we're going to try to see if that jives with what the casino is telling us, and I want to ask about those extra drops that some casinos take, which might not show up. Let's get into it. Let's hit the phones.
So get on the phones. It's time to get to work. Get off your ass!
Ugh. So, good and bad news. We got our drink for the calls here. But bad news, I got barbecue sauce on my shirt. That's the pangs of eating from out of the fridge as pretty much your, like, only meals of the day. Just, like, picking crap out of your fridge. Like, debating whether I change it. Whatever. It's gonna be my conversation shirt, like Homer's hat, you know. We're gonna do that.
Are you poker? Jessica speaking. Can I help you?
Hey, Jessica.
The 2-5 kilo is a time game. Let me check the clock. I think it's $7 or $8. Give me a second, okay?
Yeah, no rush. The 2-5, which has a 10 automatic bring-in, I believe, is a timed game, which means, you know, every, I assume, half hour, everybody just throws down $8 and nothing's raked. You just kind of go from there. The 1-2 is accurate in that it's 10% to $5, which is the most common low-stakes one you'll see.
Thank you for calling the Blanche. This is Kelly.
Hey, Kelly, I was wondering if you could transfer me to the poker room.
10%, the rate.
10%? And that's capped at what?
$5.
Okay. And does that include the 5-10 too, or is the 5-10 like a timed game?
It's $6 every half hour, I believe it is.
Oh, it's a time game. I gotcha. Okay, awesome. So $6 every half hour. All right, thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
I was wondering what the rake was at the 1-2 game there.
It's 10% up to 40.
10% up to 40. Oh, so a $4 cap on the rake itself.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Of course, being from Massachusetts, we got to do the local constituency, which would be the Foxwoods and Mohegan Sun poker rooms down in Connecticut. Those are the biggins.
The wonder of it all.
Hi, Joanna. I was wondering if I could snag a little bit of info as far as like the rakes you had for Hold'em and PLO.
1-2 and the 2-5 is a $5 max.
Mm-hmm.
And then for like 5-10 is a time game, $8 a half.
Alright, $8 per 30 minutes. I stupidly didn't have my camera running with the last 2 places I called in England that run PLO, which was Grosvenor's Casino, the Victoria in London with a lot of PLO, and then the Aspers in London, same deal. So they both have 5% rakes, but they're capped at 10 pounds, so double what you usually will find, at least at an American casino or poker room. So that's very interesting. I wonder if that's going to be a trend. I guess, I mean, we didn't learn too much, you know, that we didn't know. This was an exercise more to be cognizant of what the rake is when I'm stepping in and understand what that means and what I need to overcome in order to keep moving, so I keep traveling, you know, that's the goal, keep moving out there. So we're gonna investigate harder. We're gonna see like each place I want to go for sure off camera, because this had to be tedious for everyone involved. So on to the next one, I guess. Bing. This is probably the 10th white shirt I've ruined. Like, not worth ever cleaning properly either. On to the next one, on to the next one.